All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's let you know right now, Judy Shelton, that's right, the gold bug is back on the scene, and it looks like she's headed to the Senate to get her full floor vote and to be approved, and then we may be seeing the United States and the rest of the world moving to a new gold-backed system. We got a lot to talk about. Come on in. Let's roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove at the top of the screen, and everything that we're talking about here today. By the way, I will be having a Digital Perspectives Telegram link in this comment section and a description box for you to join while you can. That is a premier Telegram group, ladies and gentlemen. We are opening back up for a limited time here, so make sure that you get on that link and join that group while you can, because that is a private closed group. Also want to shout out Gulag Inmate for giving me the Judy Shelton news that is popped up here, and it is quite interesting. And there will be a letter coming soon from a audience member who is absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Lisa. She is encouraging everyone to write your congressman and or senator and ask them to move forward with blockchain and cryptocurrency technology legislation to get that clearance we need, that clarity. So make sure that you take a time to just send a quick message, send a quick letter or an email, and send it politely to whoever your representative is in your district. And I will share that letter and more information on that as we move forward. So I had to share that really quickly, let you guys know. Let's start with this right here. James Rule XRP. By the way, we have a hell of a diagram about Judy Shelton and her gold-backed system. Don't go anywhere. This is huge. Deal, DEEL, which supports remote workforces with payroll and compliance, says the new tool will enable international workers to be paid in Bitcoin, Ether, or XRP with near instant payments. This is Andreessen Horowitz that is back. The deal launches crypto payroll tool, a payroll platform which has drawn in $44 million in venture capital funding during the pandemic, has unveiled a new tool to allow remote workers to be paid in the crypto of their choice. Now, Andreessen Horowitz, full disclosure, is an early seed investor in, wait for it, Ripple. Oh, yeah. Let's keep this thing moving. All right. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about here. The Federal Reserve Vice Chair says U.S. Central Bank is still in the early stages of a possible CBDC, ladies and gentlemen. They're just struggling with it. They don't know what to do. Meanwhile, the world isn't waiting for anyone. It's just unbelievable what we're talking about here. So, at the end of the day, they say that they're years off, but we all, I think, know, and I think we've done a good job here really getting people to understand the narrative that Brian Brooks has put forward with the idea of putting out policy and regulatory framework that can allow private companies and private issued stablecoins to serve as the digital dollar, and the Fed doesn't have to build anything, right? Now, interestingly enough, let's keep moving, because on a wider scale, CBDCs will replace private stablecoin Tether, central bankers say. It says, speaking at an annual ECB forum, heads of 3 central banks said that they are actively exploring the idea of CBDCs to replace something like Tether. So now we get into it, right? Now we get into this world where it sounds like the banks are waking up and going, hey, I don't know if I actually do want to see private stable coins in the world here. But I think the reality is we're going to have them. I think we're going to have them. We're going to have them in a great way. But this gets more interesting because guess who's back? Guess who's back? That's right. Shout out to Eric XRP Veil Nailer. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Judy Shelton appears headed for confirmation to a Federal Reserve seat. Oh my. Well, this gets interesting because look, let's click on this, because she has been seen by the left primarily in the U.S. here as very dangerous. Very dangerous. Judy Shelton appears, and let me read this short clip for you, and then we'll go into the diagram that I have, which I think is going to be enormously helpful for a visual of what she's proposed in years past. Judy Shelton appears to have enough Republican support for her controversial nomination. That is big right there. So the Federal Reserve Board of Governors to get through. It says here, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Thursday he will advance Shelton's name to the Senate floor after Lisa Murkowski, forgive me if I messed it up, told reporters that she will now support the economic advisor to President Trump, and says CNBC's Ylan Moy, and I hope I did not mess that up. I've had an opportunity to talk to Judy Shelton, and I'm going to be supporting her, said Murkowski, told Thursday afternoon. So that was just yesterday afternoon. Now, let's scroll down because this is some of what the opposition says here. First, it says Shelton's nomination had been stalled in the Senate, even though Finance Committee cleared her by a narrow margin of 13-12. Several key Republicans had been wavering in their support, and it appeared for some time that the nomination would not clear before the current congressional session ended. At contentious hearing, senators grilled Shelton over her views on Fed independence, her support of a gold standard, and her wavering over whether bank deposits should be insured. Democratic senators accused Shelton of backpedaling from earlier statements she had made on those issues. McConnell's move drew an angry rebuke from Senator Ron Wyden. Listen to what he says, ranking member of the Finance Committee, who called it an effort to sabotage what little economic recovery we have by installing an unqualified political pick. Her ideas are so wacky and outdated. Giving her authority over the dollar would be like putting a medieval barber in charge of the Center of Disease Control. How do you really feel, Senator Wyden? Shelton's views are so extreme, Senate Republicans have long refused to confirm her. Look, at the end of the day, this is what's going on here, okay? And let's make this very clear. A gold-backed system means that you're handcuffed and that you're not going to be able to just print the way you wanted to. And you know what? Here's where the bipartisan effort comes in. There's some Republicans that don't want to see that, and there's a whole bunch of Democrats that don't want to see that. So you can pick a side, but both boats are sinking. That's how I see it. All right, now let's move to the actual diagram that I have here. And I want you to see this. And in fact, I have a better diagram. In fact, let me pull this up here. So 1 second. Here it is right here. Okay, so I think everybody can see this, and I can just zoom in just a little bit here for everybody, just to blow this up a touch. Okay, let's start with the world. All right, what Judy Shelton has proposed that's so profound, okay, and so upsetting is to really put people back in a place of accountability when it comes to fiat. This whole belt to fiat, which represents all the different sovereign currencies around the world, all the different fiat, government-backed money, right? Now, what Judy Shelton proposes is that we create a new bond system like you see here. And that 5-year gold-backed bond at the end of its term is redeemable by either the physical cash that you had the bond with, or you could choose to be physically redeemable in gold. Why is this so important? This is very important because if I have bonds in China, for instance, because I do business in China, and let's say I hold some bonds there to hedge my interest. Well, because I hold those bonds, let's say at the end of the 5 years, China, which obviously has been very open about the fact that they don't care who knows that they manipulate currency, right? They, in fact, could change the value of their dollar. And at the end of the term of your bond, it may not suit you. It may say to you, hey, this is working out to not be in my favor. That's the currency manipulation wars that we've been in for at least a couple decades now. with specifically China. And believe me, the U.S. does it too. This is just the example I'm making, right? So at the end of the day here, what you could choose to do in this system that gives you a safe out is that instead of being stuck with the manipulated currency at the end of the bond, you could choose to redeem the gold instead. Now, this allows each country to continue to manipulate their currency if they choose to. But I, as a bondholder of that currency, could choose to redeem the gold instead. So if a country wants to change and devalue their currency or what have you, they could certainly do that, but it would only affect their citizens within their sovereign nation at that point. Now we're starting to get a situation developed here where it's like, hey, no more on an international level are you going to be able to manipulate me because I'm doing business with you, right? That is a key component right there. Now, moving and drilling down inside of this loop, we know that banks, you just saw information, 80% in fact of all central banks of the world are in the process of creating, developing, launching, testing, whatever it is, a central bank digital currency, a digital dollar. As we look at this, you have to ask yourself, well, what is going to settle all of these different dollars around the world, because nobody wants someone else's dollar? That's what this is all about. In fact, most of the world doesn't want the U.S. dollar anymore, and that's a fact. This is where a little thing like XRP comes in, because XRP is designed to sit between, that's right, all the money. And at the end of the day, Judy Shelton's little gold-backed system, as she says, that could be done in a cryptocurrency sort of way, I believe happens on the XRP ledger, and XRP becomes the bridge currency to the world of this new gold-backed system that can bring accountability and confidence back to dollars around the world, not just US dollars, but fiat in general. Because you know what? Brad Garlinghouse has told us that we're going to see a debasement of the U.S. currency because of all the printing. The IMF has told us that we're going to see the Triffin dilemma 21st century problem with the U.S. dollar. The IMF is calling for a reset, a great reset, a new Bretton Woods. The World Economic Forum's calling for a great reset. What does all of this mean? What does all of this mean? Well, I'll tell you this. Maybe we're wrong about what it means, but I don't think so. Because this, to me, is starting to shape up a lot like where we're headed in a new world, which could really put things in a place where each country is responsible for their currency and the stability of their currency. And if you're able to use a bridge currency like XRP in between all the money, then really you can isolate the trouble of one country to that country and force them to find the accountability they need to participate in the new financial world. All right, that's going to do it for me. I hope in some way we've been able to shed some light on this. Leave a comment below, hit the like and subscribe, share with somebody you know. Don't forget, guys, make sure that you definitely check out the links in the description box and the comment section. So many great things there. I'm telling you, it really, really is, guys. Make sure you check that out for sure. And I just want to let you know, the .crypto stuff is amazing, but there's great ledger deals. There's iTrust Capital. Check all of that stuff out. They are trusted links. And I will catch all of you on the next one.